I absolutely love the holiday season. I think it's the best time of the year, and I love that we all can just kind of kick back, relax, have a few drinks, and really, wish each other a happy holidays or a Merry Christmas, and then kind of reflect on what the year was all about or like for us all. Hello automators, thanks for tuning in again. I'm Brian from Automate Your Life, and today I have absolutely no intention of taking the frustration out of automation. I'm here to wish you a happy holidays, a Merry Christmas from my family to your family, and I really hope that all of your automation gear that you've purchased over the year is adding to the experience with you and your family, and that it's really made a lot of things easier for you, and that I've been able to contribute in some way throughout the year. So I don't think I've ever sat and talked about why I like the holiday season. And you know what? I make a holiday video every year where I just sit and I kind of reflect and I talk to you guys about the holiday season, but I've never actually talked about why I feel the way I do about the holiday season, or even how I do feel. And I think growing up, the holiday season for me was really the only time that we as a family truly powered down. And there's a couple of reasons for that. The first being that we were just a go, go, go family, and I think a lot of families are, so the holiday season tends to be that time. It was the time when I saw my family truly power down for a few days. I saw friends truly kind of let their guard down as I grew up, and other parts of the family let their guard down as they grew up, and so it was a really different time for me. And one of the other components to this was being a really high-level hockey player. And I don't say that to brag, but doing that as a child growing up in Canada, that meant that basically as soon as Christmas was over, it could have been the 26th and it could have been the 22nd to the 24th, you had a tournament. You had a Christmas tournament where you were going to go play 4, 5, 6 games of hockey in the matter of 2 or 3 days. So, you didn't power down for long, but those hours or those days that you had were really important then. So I think I grew up feeling like Christmas was truly that time, and it's continued into my adult life. This is the time that I take. These are the few days, and I won't even publish anything here on the channel on the 26th, and not that I couldn't, but it's just that time of the year. So that's how I feel about it. I think that's a little bit why I feel about it. I hope that's making sense to you guys. I hope you feel the same way about the season as well, because it really can be a special time. These years, since I've had my child here, I mean, the best part of the holiday season is watching him start to realize how fun the holidays are and want to be around his family, want to be around his friends. He loves his cousins like no tomorrow, and he'd give up anything to go play with them every day if he could. And the Christmas season is that time when he really can. And then on top of that, his aunts and his uncles won't leave him alone. They won't stop forcing hugs on him, and I just think that happens to be a little bit funny. So poor kid, he's stuck with me thinking all of this is great. Now moving on to talking about this year, I think really in a nutshell it boils down to building a business, and with lots of that basis off of YouTube. But there were a lot of events and a lot of things that I think really kind of summarize the year really well. And that first event, I think, really is leaving a very good, very high paying, very traditional engineering job here in Canada. And when you do something like that, you go from this really highly respected position and job and a career, really, and you go to something like this, you get a lot of those looks of, really, that's what you're gonna do. So that was a pretty scary moment, and I would say one of the scariest moments in my life, as I left a career that I'd been in more than 10 years, a position I'd been in for 10 years, and really haven't looked back. But that moment was really scary in very early January. I knew I couldn't do it alone, and Madeline, who I've known for 15 years, the poor girl, she was ready to jump into something different, and she did. She jumped right in with me. She's been helping me. She's been guiding me the whole year in an immeasurable number of ways. And probably the thing that's the most impactful about all of that is you're letting go of control. And I kind of talked to you. I said, it was a scary moment when I left. Well, it's just as scary to kind of give up control of something that is so important to you at that point. But Madeline has done nothing but make that an incredible experience. And it's taught me a lot about letting go in the right ways. So that's been nothing but blessing, and it's been amazing. And when I look at the year that we went forward and then created, or the different things that we went forward and created, I mean, we created a website, and we'll talk about more of that later. We created a community that a lot of people are enjoying, a lot of automators are using. We created Patreon. We built that right from the ground up, and I think that's a great little tight-knit community, and I've had some recent proof that's unbelievable actually to me. And you know, ebooks. We created affiliate revenue here within the channel. We raised the subscribers from 18,000 to probably 45 before we leave here at the end of the year. And we've created or been able to obtain product sponsorships. And we're looking at lots of different models going forward for generating all these diverse income sources and really bringing more into the channel, giving you guys more as kind of a complete package beyond just YouTube. And when you think about creating all of that, plus at least 3 videos a week here on the channel, then you know, it's a pretty easy thing to guarantee that I worked way more hours on this than I did any other full-time job. But what actually happened was I was able to shift my life, move my life around to connect more with my family, to connect more specifically with my son, and really become his primary caregiver in a lot of ways. And this was an absolutely amazing time for us. You know, every day he's coming home from school and I'm standing there ready, and we have the day in front of us and we can do a ton of things, and took advantage of that in a lot of ways. So that's been maybe the best part of the year. I also spent that incredible amount of time building YouTube acumen and business acumen and all these different skills, but I also spent a good portion of the year trying to give that away. And I want to do more of this as I go forward into 2020. And you know, I'm working with a couple of people already on this and trying to help them, and I think you've seen that show up on the channel a little bit. But this is something I really want to do going forward, and the amount of hours that I spent talking to people about what they're trying to develop, how they're trying to use YouTube or other social media channels or other online avenues to develop an audience, build an audience, and really create something for themselves. I did that a lot in 2019, and again, I want to do a ton more in 2020. And I think the biggest example of that is actually Alan, who joined us and really built the website into something. It actually has traffic now. It actually is creating great content that I think is helping people, and he's continued to develop his acumen in this business, and I've seen him start to stretch out beyond what I can do. And again, this is letting go and building something with people, and it's been amazing to watch, and one of the reasons I want to do it again and again and again with other creators in other avenues. And just a couple of months ago here, I actually moved, and I think any of you who've done that in any sort of serious way know that that's quite the thing. So it's been a little bit to kind of get back in the saddle, get really creating the content that I want to, and I hope you guys didn't notice much of a drop off there, but that was seriously impactful to the way the year kind of went. Now, just to summarize what we did actually on the channel, because I don't think I talked about any of this. We went from 18,000 to 45,000 subscribers. We've had 4 million views in 2019, and we'll probably leave with more than that given how the holiday season always goes here on the channel. And that's incredible growth, really. And like I said, we opened up the website, which has opened up a whole new avenue of people coming into the site. And Black Friday was a great example of ways that we can drive the website and the community together to really create something different between YouTube and all of our different avenues. So it was an amazing experience there. We've learned a lot, and we're going to refine the processes and really do better as we come to these other special events, and just continue to build that website out as well. And our community boards grew to having over 300 people who are regular contributors over there, 40 to 50 who are there quite often, but you have all these people who come in, check in to see kind of what they can learn from that community. And that's what I want it to be. And I want to add other creators to that space, whether or not we have to change the URL to something else. It's not the point for it to be Automate Your Life. The point is for it to be that space. And the other thing, we focused on starting to grow Instagram and Facebook, and we're learning how to create different content there. And I've been talking with Brett to no end about how we do that on Facebook, and we can work together, and that's been really interesting and fun as well. So the growth in 2019 has been incredible, and I want to see in 2020, I want to get to that 100,000 subscriber mark here on YouTube. I want to start to see that actual growth really take off on Facebook, and I want to see our forums include other creators. That's what I really want out of 2020. In any case, 2019 has been an incredible year, and I wouldn't trade it really for anything. And I just want to thank you guys for being here, for coming and spending this long with me on your holidays. And really, I just want to say, I hope 2019 was fantastic for you as well. And 2020, let's move forward together. Let's automate our lives, create more time so that next holiday season, you have even more time with your family and friends. Now, thank you, of course, all of you for watching today. And of course, don't hate, automate.